Hello students, welcome back into the another session of CS02 Programming in C. As all of you know that we are discussing about unit number 5, which contains the two very important concept of programming in C, that is pointer and file handling. Lastly, we have completed with all the topics related to the pointer, theoretically as well as practically. Now it's time to go for the last part of this entire subject, that is called as file handling. So there is a list of the topic that we have to discuss into the file handling. First, we are starting with the concept of data file. Now, why the topic name is given called file handling? You will learn something new in this particular concept. What we are going to learn new in this concept is the concept of file handling. Now, let's discuss something about this particular concept first. What is file and how can we handle the file in C? So what does a file means? Up to this, whatever the program or the total number of program what we have written, in that we are inputting the data. Program performs the several types of process on that particular data, and then it will give you the output. Now whatever the input or output is there is not stored anywhere into the program. What I want to say is, suppose I am inputting some data and getting the output. It is not going to be permanently stored on any location of the entire program, which we can take for the future reference. So now there is a concept which teaches us how can we store our data permanently on a particular location, which we can use for the future purpose. So data storing is possible using file handling. This is the main characteristic of the concept called file handling. We can store our input data or as well as the output data. Now, how the file look like? Say for example, suppose I am creating a one text file, and suppose I am writing some content in that particular file like MVM College Rajkot, and I am saving this particular file into the location called C drive, turbo C, disk, bin, and I am saving this file as a test.txt, right? Suppose I am closing this file, then from my computer C drive, turbo C, disk, turbo C, bin, and let's search for the test file. I am opening that particular file. You will get your data back, whatever I have inputted. Now this thing we have to handle with programming in C. So without wasting more time into the theory, let's start with practical discussion. For that, I am opening the C editor, and then I am creating a new program. After writing the necessary library function like standard input output.h and console input output.h, here I am writing the main executable statement called void main, and then the local variable I am declaring is character ch. It's a local variable. Then to declare the file, there is a keyword called file which we have to write in capital itself. Again I am repeating my word. For handling the file in C, we need to create a file pointer using the basic keyword called file, which should be written into the capital letter. Then I am giving file pointer fp, and this is the common line which we have to write for all the programs. Then the basic function called clrs here. Now the file pointer must contain the function called fopen. So we are starting with fopen. What I have done is I have created a one text file called test.txt in some xyz folder. I want to open that particular file and I want to print the content which is written in that particular file onto the screen. So that can be possible using the function called fopen. So fp is equals to fopen in double inverted comma. Suppose I am writing test.txt comma, here I have to mention the permission in which I want to open the file, or you can say I have to mention the mode of file in which it should be created, that is read mode. In our subject, there are three types of mode, that is read for just reading the file. You cannot write anything in that particular file. W for writing the file which can also read the content, and A, that is append, means which can change anything in that particular file. One by one we will go for the practical discussion, so you will become more knowledge about the same. So what I have done, I have just opened the test.txt file into the read mode which I have already created. Then over here I am just checking that if fp double equals to null, that means if test.txt file is unable to find by the file pointer, then it simply prints the message that file does not exist. Then and program returns into the main menu. Now after this closing bracket, if this condition is false, there is a one message, the detail of the file is as follows /n. That means detail will going to print on next line. There is a one loop called while ch equals to get c fp not equals to end of file. Now what I have done in this line, first of all there is a one loop. If you remember, then into the test.txt file there is a multiple number of characters, like what I have written in test.txt, MVM College Rajkot. This MVM College Rajkot contains more than one character which I want to print onto the screen, and that is possible using the while loop. Now as a conditional statement, what I have written, ch is equals to get c pointer not equals to end of file. Every text file should completed with the null character, or you can say end of file. So this particular loop repeats till the last character of the file which I have already created. Now during each repetition, this printf statement print the particular character onto the screen using the printf statement called printf %c, ch. Then once every character of a particular file is displayed onto the screen, that file should be closed. So for closing the file, there is a function called fclose fp, that is file pointer we have to pass, and the last line of the code is get ch. Let's compile the code. There is a one mistake. Let's see what's the mistake is. While statement is missing. Yes, I forgot to complete this particular bracket. So let's complete that bracket first and rerun the code. that bracket will be completed over here. There are no syntactical errors. We can go ahead. Let's run the code. What you will see, whatever the content I have stored in my test.txt file is printed onto the screen, that is called as MVM College Rajkot. For the checking purpose, what I am doing is, let me change the content of my test.txt file. So for that, what I am doing is, I am going into the C drive, turbo C bin folder, and I am opening the test.txt file, and then I am changing this text from MVM College Rajkot to MVM College of Commerce Management and IT Rajkot. This is the changed text into the test.txt file, and then I am saving that particular file. Again, I am going back into the program which I have written. I am compiling the code. Then I am executing the code. You will get a new text which is read from the file which I have created called test.txt, and it is going to be printed onto the screen. The name is MVM College of Commerce Management and IT Rajkot. Now let's see this particular program in Notepad for better visibility. But before opening that particular program into the Notepad, I would like to inform all the students that to make this particular program, just create a one text file into the C drive turbo C disk bin. The name that I have given, you can keep any name of your test file, that is test.txt, and write something. You can write your name in this text file also, and save this particular file in this particular location, and then write down the program which I am going to show you. So let's see the program. The program which I have saved is 17 or 18.c, I think. Let's open the code. 18.c. Yes. Write down the definition of a program. Write a program which read and print the content of file onto the screen. Again, I am repeating my words. Write a program to read and print content of a file onto the screen. So let me discuss one more thing about this. We are discussing about the file handling. We have discussed very shortly about the concept of file. Then we have started with the various function. In this program, you will see the three function, that is fopen. There is an fopen, right? Then fclose, then end of file, feof is there. Is it written? Yes, it's written over here. feof. So parallelly, we are also discussing about the various function which is given over here too. So just keep this thing in your mind that we are working on parallel things. Now let's discuss this program. First, I have written the basic library statements. Then into the main executable statement, I have written the declaration of library declaration of the variables like character ch and file pointer fp. This is the way to initialize the file handling feature in programming in C, and this should be common in all the programs of file handling. So in capital we have to write file, then pointer fp. Here instead of fp you can give any name, but I think it is better to give file pointer as a short called fp, but you can keep anything. Then there is a inbuilt function called CLRS here. Then FP is equals to F open. What I am doing is I am first opening that particular file for the reading purpose. So I have written FP is equals to F open in double inverted comma test.txt and comma there is a mode. So first is the file name and second is the mode. Here I am opening my file into the read mode because already the content is written into that particular file. As I have instructed you in this concept, there are three types of mode. Type number 1 is read mode, type number 2 is write mode, and type number 3 is append mode. For read mode, there is a keyword called R, for write there is W, and for append there is an A. So here I have mentioned called R. Then there is a one decision making statement which checks that really this particular file is present or not on the desired location. If that particular file is not present on that particular desired location, then it prints file does not exist. But in our case we have already created that particular file, so there is no case of this particular line of statement. So it directly goes in this particular line where it prints the detail of the file is as follows. Then there is a looping control structure in which first I have written the variable called ch which reads one by one all the characters of the file which I have already opened till the last character is not founded into the particular file called test.txt. So every time when this particular loop repeats, it prints that particular character onto the screen. That means in our file I have stored m.v.m College of Commerce Management and IT Rajkot. So this loop starts from this M till it repeats this T. Every time into the repetition of loop it prints one character. That means on a first repetition of the loop it prints M, then on second repetition it prints this dot, then third repetition V, then dot, then M, then dot, then space, then C, and repeats till this T, and after T it founds the character called null. At that particular time this condition becomes false and repetition of the looping control statement stops and the file get closed. Ultimately you will see the content which I have already created in this particular file onto the screen. Let's see this program practically into the C again. So for that I am opening the C editor, then let me open the code. Let me check for the syntactical error. As you can see that there are no syntactical error. You can execute the program. You will see the content which I have stored in that test.txt file onto the screen using the compiler of C, and the content is MBM College of Commerce Management and IT Rajkot for the testing purpose. I am just changing that content. So I am going back into the Explorer, C drive, Turbo C, bin, and I am opening test.txt file, and I am keeping it very short like MVM College into the capital, and I am saving this file, closing that particular file, again opening the C editor, compiling the code, executing the code. You will see the new output onto the screen. So this is the interaction of file handling function, various file handling function in programming in C. So I hope all of you are clear that how can we create the file, then how can we open the file, then how can we read the content from that particular file, and then how can we print that particular contents onto the screen using programming in C. Now let's go for another program. Now what I want to do, in my this existing program, the file is already created. Test.txt is created by myself first before writing the program, and then I am printing the content by fetching it into the over the screen. Now what I want to do is, let me first copy the entire program. Let's go into the new code, paste it over here, save this particular program, say for example is 19.c. Then here I am giving the file name called MVM. I am opening that particular file into the write mode. So two changes I have done in this particular program. First, I have given the name of file, and second, I have given the mode of particular file. Then what I am doing is, I am removing this printf statement, then writing the while loop. Into the while loop, I am using the new function called getChar, which gets the character from the user and it puts, that means it stores that particular character into the file which I have created, like by writing the code called putc into the bracket ch comma fp, and there is a f close. Now let's check up to this. I am saving this particular code and let's compile the code. There are two errors. Why? ch equals to get char. Okay, here there is a mistake. I have to remove this fp and fine. As you can see that there are no syntactical errors. We'll go for executing the code. There is a prompt waiting for you. What here I am writing? Programming in C, and then from the keyboard I am pressing Ctrl Z. Right? This detail instruction I have given for the program called 19.c. Now let's check it works properly or not. For that, what I have to do? I have to go into this computer, C drive, turbo C, then disk, bin, and I have to search for MVM. So MVM is already created by the program, and in that MVM, programming in C is written, which I have passed through the console of programming in C. For the checking purpose, what I am doing is I am just deleting this particular file. Let me delete this file. Now there is no mvm.txt. Let me also remove it from recycle bin. Let's open the program again. And execute the code. Now this time suppose I am entering only called Rajkot and pressing Ctrl Z, enter. Then I am getting exit from the program which I have written. Then I am trying to browse the directory. You will find that MVM is there, and in MVM there is a Rajkot. So vice versa, I have done the functionality. In first functionality, I have already created the file and just reading that particular file and throwing the output onto the screen. And in my second program, through the program I have created the file, and then I am storing the content which is entered by the user. So let's see how this particular program works by opening it into the notepad. Write down the definition of this particular program. Write a program which creates and store the content of file onto the screen. So this is the library function which I have created. Then there is a void main statement. Into the opening and closing bracket, character ch is there, then file pointer fp clr fp is equals to fopen mvm.txt, then the mode is write, because I want to create the file and then I want to store the content in that particular file. If that file is unable to create due to any technical reason, it displays the message onto the screen, file cannot be created. Here I have written file does not exist. You just change this error message from file does not exist to file cannot be created. It's very simple. Then there is a one looping control structure which repeats till user doesn't press Control plus Z from the keyboard. Up to that, it reads every character from the keyboard and try to store it into the file which I have opened. That means every character which is entered from the keyboard is going to be stored into the text file called mvm.txt till user has not pressed Ctrl plus Z. Once the user press Ctrl plus Z, this looping control structure becomes false. This file be closed using the function called fclosefp, and program gets terminated, or you can say program gets completed. Just go into the directory called C drive, turbo C plus disk, turbo C3 bin. If you are using the same software which I am demonstrating over here, and try to find out mvm.txt, you will find the content which is created by the user. So this is the way in which you can use the function called fopen with write mode, putc function which is already mentioned in our syllabus also. Let's search for putc. There is a putc and putw, both the functions are there. It's not mentioned, we are taking it extra, so we can go for this thing also. So this was all about today's discussion. I hope all of you have a clear cut idea that how can we handle the file using programming in C. Day by day we are about to finish this particular subject. Within a 1 or 2 lecture we'll complete our subject. Then I will give you the important questions for Saurashtra University examination in my last lecture, and then we'll declare this particular syllabus to be concluded. So I hope all of you have enjoyed today's session. Thank you very much students for listening me, and have a nice day.